What I'm going to do today is put in a couple coyote sets. I'm going to show you how I do them. This is a real productive corner I've got. As you can see, here's the finger of woods, goes to the inside corner. Then we have a little bit of a cutback right here, and then it goes on out. I catch them on that corner, around the corner. They come out of the woods on a trail, and I also catch them right in. As you can see, there's a trap circle. Didn't make a big circle, but I pulled the set. I'm going to come back today and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make a remake right off the edge on this set. Looks like in the mud some old tracks of another coyote coming up here, and I've caught fresh tracks down there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a remake here. Might even show you kind of how I do it. I'm going to come in here. My trap circle is right in here. I want to come in here and make a set right in here. Let me make sure we're getting this in there, okay? Alright. Anyways, so what I want to do, come in here. Now, I just usually do it with my foot. I'm going to make some backing up in here. Make a little space back down here. Now this is pretty muddy, and I normally like to make sets in mud this tall, but you know, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes I think the coyotes will come back in here on the edge of that trap circle because the scent is still around from that other coyote. I'll come in here, dig me out a little trap bed. Take that, throw it out. Show you guys all this. In fact, I can still smell that coyote from only about 5 or 6 days ago. I'm going to move this camera in so you can see. That's what I do right here. Okay, I make a bowl down in there, and I think the reason for that is the trap sits in there a little bit better. For this one, I'm going to use a Bridger number 2 with a cable stake. And as always, I'll use some salt down in here to keep this nice and thawed out, because you know, you never know, the weather might turn. But here we go. Alright, I'm going to try to get over here. That's my old trap line shovel. I know some guys got some fancy ones. That's what I use. Anyways, I'm going to get in here. A little bit of salt down there first, because this trap bed might end up freezing up as wet as it is. So what I want to do here now is I like to just kind of get in here. I learned this from a Slim Peterson coyote video, was just make yourself a bowl, like a cereal bowl. As you can see, that's what that is. Now I'm going to line mine with a little bit of dry dirt. Kind of get it all around. Hopefully that'll absorb a little bit of the moisture. Now I'm going to drive my trap down in here. Okay? Stake driver, and I drive mine right in the middle. I know some guys put them on the edges, some guys put them wherever. Everyone's got their preference. I think it's just do what you like, what works for you. With these Bridgers, they have the center swivel, so what I want to do with that is I always like to have my hole down in the middle, kind of sets down in there then the swivel. At least that's what I've always gotten. I drive mine right down about as far as I can get it. You'll pull that up, usually it'll come up a little bit. I'll go ahead and knock a little hole down in there. That's just what I do. I kind of, the swivel will end up staying down in there. I'll come around, get the chain kind of make sure everything's going to fit right. Get this nice and solid so we can get us a real good, hopefully a nice solid bed. And that looks pretty good. Everyone's different. I point the dog at kind of an angle. I'm going to put the hole back up in here, but I do the hole last. I'm going to go ahead and a little more salt. I'm making a recipe here. Get the trap in there. I don't have these night latch like some of my other traps. This year what I've been using are for my coyote trapping, it's been from Minnesota Trapping Products. Are these fiberglass pan covers. I thought I'd give them a shot. I know some of the guys use a wire, regular screen. They mold it a little bit bigger. I saw these were pre-cut when I was ordering some lure from them. I thought, what the heck. So, what I do, hopefully you guys can see this, is I try to put my finger up under there so we don't get any problem with the trap firing. I just been laying them just in like that. Don't know if that's right or wrong, but it's been working it out. Now, what I'll do is come in here, get my trap set, start putting in a little bit of my pre-sifted dirt. I usually pour it right on top real slow. Pretty sure this pan tension is good enough.